Hey everybody, today I wanted to do an introduction. This might seem a little bit strange since I've already done like 31 videos or something ridiculous, but the BookTube newbie tag just does not do a very good job at explaining how I am the way I am. And with the content that I've been putting out lately, I wanted you to have that background if you wanted it. So if you'd rather talk about books, I get that. Skip to one of my other videos. But if you want to know how I got to be how I am, I thought this would be helpful. So my demographic is 33-year-old white woman, Midwestern United States, married for 10 plus years, 3 kids, stay-at-home homeschooling mom, and middle-class family. And that says a little bit, but it doesn't quite say why I have the values that I do. So I wanted to give you that background. I grew up in a 2-parent family, and I was really lucky. I have really great parents. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about them because they kind of started me, I suppose. My dad is a very hardworking blue-collar worker. He is the life of the party whenever he goes anywhere. He's hilarious. And yeah, I couldn't be proud of him. He's the kind of man who can talk to a homeless man or a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company the exact same way with the same amount of respect. He makes everybody he comes in contact with feel important. And I think that's a really rare, unique quality. So that's the first thing I love about him. The second thing I love about him is that he's always willing to help other people. I remember growing up when we were going on extended car trips, and it was before seatbelt laws. We were in the back of the pickup truck in like an inflatable mattress, and we'd be asleep for part of the time because it was like 12-hour drives. And I remember waking up several times where there were college students in the vehicle in the front with my parents who had broken down the side of the road, and he stopped to help them. I know he's done this, I don't even know how many times he stops to help people, especially before the cell phone era when everybody could just call for help. And I love that about him. My mom is a white-collar teacher. She's done a variety of things in her life, but she is a Spanish teacher and she works on doing that and doing it very well. But she also helps out with promoting legislation for biliteracy in the United States. She's talked to several of the state governments about it. And yeah, I'm really proud of her for the work that she does as well. Now, both my parents are the most hospitable people that you will ever encounter. I have a younger brother who's a lot like my dad in a lot of ways, although the older he gets, he becomes a little bit more like my mom too. But the two of us were raised in kind of a conservative church background as far as what they think on some social issues. But yeah, the church has always been really important. Faith has always been really important. And part of faith for my parents meant welcoming anybody into our home that needed family and needed love. And for that, it's who I am today because of that. We had lots of foster kids from different countries who had medical issues that needed to be attended to in the States for a long time when I was really little. And when I was about 7, we adopted one of them, my sister, who's actually older than me. She is a double amputee, and she came to the States to get prosthetic arms. After we adopted her, the social worker thought it'd be better for us to do exchange students instead. So we switched to getting exchange students. Now, my mom got the travel bug when she was in college. And obviously being a Spanish teacher is important to her. She's traveled, I think, to almost all the she might have hit all of them now, Spanish-speaking countries in the world. And yeah, she made the world feel small enough that anybody can go anywhere and meet people and find value and learn something anywhere they went. And I love that. It kind of continued as we got older. Again, like I said, with the exchange students, but also my parents sent me away to travel some, and yeah, they continue to do that. I got to go with my mom to India and Nepal this past summer, which was really incredible because I hadn't been there yet. And that's always been an important value for us. Education and travel are probably two of my mom's top values, and it shows in me. One of the reasons we homeschool, not just because I grew up being homeschooled before my sister was adopted, I love learning, and travel was a lot easier because we were homeschooling. We could do it in the off season when it wasn't as expensive. And yeah, my mom got to expose me to a lot of art history, a lot of historical and geographical subjects that I maybe wouldn't have gotten if I was in traditional school. So that's kind of the education component. And then leading on, of course, to the travel component. I feel like everything is all connected in the world. There's so many things to get from all the places and all the people, which is one of the reasons I love reading so much, because I feel like I can learn from living different people's lives in a book. One of my biggest homeschooling triumphs was when my oldest son looked at me and said, "Oh my gosh, Mom, science, history, art, like it's all connected." And I said, "Yes, that's exactly what I've been trying to teach you. It's all a big one awesome world, and we can learn about it and find all the webs and the connectivity there." So that is kind of how I became to be the person I am a little bit. As far as homeschooling, it's one of the reasons we homeschool, not because I wanted to shelter my children, but because I wanted to expose them to more of what was out there. Last year, we got to take them over to London and Ireland to visit family last year. And we got to do it in the off season when it was cheaper. And I loved seeing the connections that my children made with their history lessons, with their science things, because they got to have that trip. And I hope we get to do that more in the future. We got to do Boston this past summer and get prepared for some of the American history that they're learning. My kids have the history bug. They have the travel bug. I remember my my middle child saying that he'd outgrown his soccer socks, that my mom had gotten him one of her last trips to Spain, and we needed to get more soccer socks from Spain because he was out. And I love that he didn't think of just going to Target. He thinks that all great soccer socks come from Madrid, and I love that. I love that we have a world map in the hall, and they have been able to see different places that I've been to, different places my family's been to, where my sister is married to a Mexican and she's from Guatemala. So they know that side of our family history, and they know that the world is all connected. So that is a lot of my heart. That is why I am the person that I am. I care about immigrant issues because my sister's an immigrant and she's married to one, and she has family that are here as well, that have become, while not related by law or by blood, an extension of my family. So I care about those things. I care about my kids growing up in a world where the color of skin doesn't matter, and how you look doesn't matter, and disabilities don't matter, because my sister has disabilities and she does not hear the word no. No just makes her stronger. It makes her fight harder. I care about sexual assault because there's been that in my family history, as well as with just my own experience of being a woman. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. So the reason I care so much is because the people I love are affected by the things that are happening in our world. And whether you know it or not, they're being affected in your world as well. Your loved ones will be affected by all the outcome of not just our election, but the world politics that are going on. Yeah, education has been such a really awesome thing for me. When I walk into a library or a museum, I just feel that infinite amount of possibilities of learning everything. And I know that's not possible, but I love feeling that of making the world more tangible, more important, because people have left things behind for us to learn from. And I don't want to miss that on those lessons. So that's a little bit about why I school the way I do, why I live the way I do. Faith is important to me, and I'll probably do a separate video on that at some point, probably in the near future, books that have made me the person I am of faith. Before I became a parent, I was actually a youth pastor, and I worked with a lot of families from different backgrounds from me, and I know what it's like to watch people you care about struggle because they didn't have the same values as I did growing up. So I don't know. I guess I wanted to explain to you why I am the way I am so you can understand a little bit better. I would love to hear some of your stories. If you can relate to some of these, if you have more questions. I'm sure this isn't the last you'll hear about my personal life, but I hope it was at least a little bit illuminating for you. So yeah, the things I care about are many. I love the Vincent Van Gogh is one of my spirit animals, and he talks about those who have many passions and loving much are great people, and that's how I feel. I feel passionate about a lot of things. So yeah, this could go on a long, long time. This is condensing at least my childhood background. I'll probably, again, do more later, but I don't want to ramble much longer. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.